All right, guys. Welcome. My name is Jessie Collier, and I am your Executive Area Manager. And so if you've had your business for a little while and you're joining this call, thank you for being open to learn from a fresh perspective and for investing in yourself. And for those of you that are just starting, raise your hand, or maybe Lindsay, just say yes.
Yes.
If you are feeling a little overwhelmed at this moment, or a lot overwhelmed.
Can you see my hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I remember that feeling very well. And I hope really that this next hour gives you peace of mind to know that we have a really simple system to follow, and we already have everything that we need to get started. I'm still learning too, so just promise that you'll give yourself some grace to enjoy the journey and learn as you go, because I'm still learning too, right, Lindsay?
Right.
She helped me with the whole, GMO, I don't know if you saw that post on our team page, but it's worth looking into. How many people hear me or someone else say this business is the best thing that's ever happened to them, or it's a gift, and think, ugh, that's so cliche, and of course they're saying that? Because if you're thinking that, I thought the same exact thing when I started my business. And until this business went from my head to my heart, I thought the same thing. And really, honestly, truly, that has happened fully in the last month. And I've had my business for 2.5 years. So you're in good company. I've had my business since February 9th of 2013, so about 2.5 years now. And just to give you, if you don't know already, a little bit of background about me before we jump in, I really started it for selfish reasons. So back in the day, I worked full-time and got my MBA. When I was introduced to Arbonne by Dina at a mommy meeting at church, I had been solely a stay-at-home mom for the last 4 years, and I was going nuts. Now, I love being home with my kids, but I was either blessed or cursed with strong drive and motivation. And that just wasn't being fulfilled as a stay-at-home mom. When I learned about the opportunity, I loved it even before I had tried the products, which then sealed the deal for me. I had a couple roadblocks before I decided to go all in. One being I lost a really good girlfriend who was 8 months pregnant, and I had just found out that I was pregnant with my third, which was a surprise. And so that could have gone either way for me, but I truly made one of the best choices of my life at that fork in the road. So this business went from something that I could focus on outside of raising kids to, wow, this is great money, to adding an additional income for my family while staying at home with my kids, to building a team of awesome women like you guys that I can help make a difference for your families and your friends. And I just want you to know that this is such an exciting time to be building your business. And I think those of you that have been around for a couple months have really been feeling that, because we are going to become a region. And if you're new and you're like, I don't even know what that means, it's awesome. And yes, that means, I'll get the white Mercedes and we'll have a big party and all of you will be invited and we'll all celebrate together. But that's not really what it's about. The car represents hundreds of lives like yours impacted. And that's meaningful to me. And I just want to prove to you guys and to anyone watching you build your business that it's possible and that we can do great things with this business. It's not just hawking products to people. It's truly making a difference. And so through this business, we get to set people free, and we love everyone where they are, free from debt, free from bondage, free from unhappiness, so that we all can live our best life. And
let's see here.
Hi, boys. There you go. We are impacting generations. As crazy as that might sound for you to hear that, this is so much bigger than any one of us. And I hope that's really exciting to you, because it's why I wake up every day in love with what we do. So that's just a little bit of an intro. So welcome. I'm really excited, but I'm going to go through some nuts and bolts for you guys. And for some of you, it's kind of a refresher. And we'll go through and just start jotting down questions as we go that I may not cover. And then you can email them and we can address that, because there's no way that I could possibly go through every single thing that you might have questions on within an hour. And I'm trying to be respectful of everyone's time, and I'm sure you don't want to be on this call till midnight. So just jot questions as you go, or as we go. So the first thing is really the fact that everything that we're doing has already been created for us. And our upline, like Andy Arby, who is our new National Vice President, has put together an amazing resource in her Team Dropbox folder to be able to access that and have everything that we need. We don't have to spend any time creating anything new. It's already done. We just need to follow the system and plug in. So as far as those resources are concerned, if you're not aware of Andy's Dropbox, I can send that out afterwards, but that's a great resource to use, and that's andyvukoarby.com. So ANDYVUKOARBIE.com, and that takes you to our nation's Dropbox. Now, before that was created, I had created our team Dropbox, and I think all of you have been on it. I'm not sure, Elka, if you've been on it, but if you go to jessicullier.com, JESSICULYER.com, and scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a link there that says Dream Bigger Nation. Just click that, and that takes you right to our Dropbox. There's no more need for people to get an invite to it. It's all free to access, which has made my life a lot easier because I don't have to go through inviting everybody. So on that is a lot of the stuff that's in Andy's. It's just another tool. So don't get overwhelmed by the fact that we have so much. It's, if you have a question, somebody has it somewhere. And a lot of mine is focused on, it has a lot of the duplicates of Andy's, but I also have a huge product knowledge folder on there, which I've just put in a bunch of Meet the Product sheets. It's all organized by, essentials or skincare or cosmetics. So that's just something that you can go on and pull from anywhere on your phone and then send that document to somebody or just look at it for yourself. So besides Andy's and my Dropbox, those of you that have been around for a little bit, do you want to mention some other resources that we have, or can you? So it's not just me talking the whole time. Unmute yourself. No. There you go.
Jessica, can you hear me? Okay, so the Virtually MVP page on Facebook is a humongous resource that I typically will ask a question to, usually even before the source, because people respond so quickly and they have a ton of files as well. I mean, I would go to Dropbox first, but that would be my second choice.
Okay, so for those of you who are not aware of this site, it's on Facebook, and it's a group that you ask to join, and they're just trying to confirm that you're a consultant, but it's called Virtually ENVP. So search that on Facebook, and it's just it might be thousands at this point of consultants on there, and you just post a question and take it with a grain of salt because you need to verify whatever they're saying. But it's great for like, what have I asked before? Like somebody's having an issue with this product. Has anyone experienced that before? And early on, I would ask questions like, when I didn't know celiac and the whole gluten thing, I posted something about that on there, and I got tons of responses on that. Okay, so virtually EMVPs. What's another one? Dottie, you have another one?
Well, The Source, but that's not my favorite, honestly.
Yeah. It's a free app, by the way, on your phone, and you can access like trainings like Learn and Burns on there. What's your favorite then?
Your Dropbox.
Well, good. I'm glad it's being used. Awesome. Arbonne University is another one, and you find that under resources once you log into your website. Any other suggestions? That covers what I have on here. Well, you can do Facebook pages is another one, like our Facebook page. Dina Kretzer is our executive regional vice president. So that's another resource. And Andy, so that's RB Success Line, RBIE. So if you're not a member of that, just let me know and I can add you. So write that on your list of things that you need to tell me after the call. And so another thing that we should do, actually, is go through and introduce yourself and who your sponsor is and where you're located. That'd be great. So we can introduce everyone. And I'm in Richmond, by the way. I think all of you know that. Dottie, you want to go first?
Jesse is my sponsor, and I've been in the business for coming up on a year. I'm at about 11 months right now.
Yep. And she's in Richmond. I don't know if you heard that with the background. And Monette, do you want to go next?
Sure. I'm in Katona. I've been in the business for 19 days.
Yay! Katona, New York, by the way. And Genevieve is her sponsor.
Genevieve is my sponsor, yes.
All right, Genevieve, you want to go next?
Yeah, I've been in the business for a couple of months, and I'm in New York.
Okay, a couple of months, and she's in New York. Somebody has a lot of background going on. All right, Kimmy, you want to go next?
Sorry, I have a lot of background too. So I'm in Yonkers. I've been in the business for 5 months, and Liz Giordano in Maryland. I don't think she's on the call. She's my sponsor.
And Yonkers is in New York.
Did you hear that? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you're good. Boyce, do you want to go next? You got to unmute yourself, though.
I had to unmute myself because my boys are loud. My sponsor is you, and I have been, signed up for 13 days.
Yep, and we're launching her tomorrow. I'm driving down to Charlotte. She's in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, thank you, Boyce. And Elka? Elka's frozen. Elka, I can give her intro. Elka is located in Richmond.
All right.
And her sponsor is Dottie. And she's actually, there you are. Are you on?
A lot. Yeah, but I can't understand you. It's breaking.
It might be your internet, but I have it recorded, so I'll send out the recording.
Can't get me. Okay.
Okay, and Lindsay, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, I'm in Mount Airy, Maryland, and Jesse's my sponsor. Yep. Oh, can you hear me?
Yep.
Jesse?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I'm in Mount Airy, Maryland. I'm sorry I didn't video in because my son took a really late nap and he's still awake and he's only 20 months old, so I have to be able to see him. So Jesse's my sponsor, and I just started last week, although I was familiar with Arbonne years ago and just getting back into it now.
And we are launching her in September. All right, so everyone can mute themselves again so we don't have the background noise. So we have the Getting Started action plan. And hopefully you've all seen this already, but again, it's on Dropbox under the folder Getting Started. And I'm not going to insult your intelligence because I know you all can read this, but really this is the way that we start every new consultant, no matter where you are. We just have them do the Getting Started action plan. And so the top 2 sections is what I recommend everyone to start with. And then once you go through that, then I schedule a follow-up call to basically go over that with everyone. And so it's already all there. There's a lot of great trainings that you can tap into. And then once that happens, then you're going through and you're basically doing like role play with how you would talk to people about the business, and doing your ultimate memory jogger, which is a link on there. And this has been an awesome tool to use. And I actually go through and get a printer to spiral bound it, because there's a lot of great resources in here. And there's also a lot of blank spaces and multiple pages to just go through and brain dump literally everyone that you know. This is more for just thinking through. A lot of people, when they start, they're like, I don't know anybody. I don't have any friends. Not that, some people would say that, but you know a lot more people than you think you do. And there's a memory jogger in here, like members of your family, those you do business with, who is my chiropractor, florist, jeweler, and there's pages of these in here. And you would just go through and write everybody, even if they wouldn't want to talk to you about Arbonne at all, if you think they wouldn't, you just write them down. Because everyone knows somebody else with skin and hair. So we get to help everybody in this business. And whether it's the opportunities for them, maybe not, the products can help everyone. Everyone takes a shower. Everyone brushes their teeth, uses deodorant. Lots of women use makeup. And we are just offering them a healthier alternative to everything that they're already using. So that's the Getting Started action plan. On the bottom, it talks about resources and ways to plug in. If you're following this with me, it gives you an idea of how you promote to district manager, and then the Strong Start. And if you're not familiar with the Strong Start program, that's really just an incentive that Arbonne gives us to really get us off to a strong start in our business. And the result of it is that we promote to district manager and we get our first pay raise. So in that, you also get, if you meet each of the goals, so month 1 is 1,500 RV, and that's with you and anyone else that you sign up on your team. Month 2 is 2,500. Month 3 is 3,500, with the goal of sponsoring at least 3 new independent consultants with an order of 150 or more to start. And there are, the month 1 is the Arbonne bag, which is a tote that nobody can buy, you just earn it. Month 2 is the necklace, and month 3 is a full-size RE9 set, which is over $300 worth of product that you just get free. And then if you complete all 3 of those, plus the 3 new consultants, you also get a $700 product voucher. And I'm looking, Kimmy achieved that, and that's a pretty nice perk, especially when you're trying to try everything and you don't necessarily have the money to buy everything right off the bat. That's a great thing to have. And then if you complete that in 2 months, you automatically get promoted to district manager in 2 months, and you get all of those gifts when you sponsor your 3 consultants. So that's a little bit overview on that. And so when we start somebody, again, it's the same. You're scheduling 2 launches, and like for instance, Boyce and Lindsay are out of state. So I'm able to do 1 launch with them, and then they would book their second and, start booking out their first month, which they are already doing. So you're basically getting an activity right off the bat. Does anyone have any questions about that so far? No. Good. And your sponsor did a good job. The second part that I wanted to cover is how we make money. And in your new consultant package that you got a success plan. And that is an awesome resource that goes through, if you go through and look through that, there's a compensation plan section in there, and it gives you all the nitty gritty of every single level. And so as a consultant, we make commission off of the products that we personally sell. So 15%, so we make a 35% commission for those products that we sell at full retail. But we would rather sign someone up as a preferred client or a wholesale buyer with a discount, knowing that when people get a discount, they will constantly reorder. As a client, it's typically, and what I found in my experience, is typically like 1 or 2 products, and they're just trying it to be nice. Now I have like one person that constantly orders the FC5 face wash. That's all she orders, and she pays full retail. There are some people that just want to do that, and it's our job to consult and help people get the best deal. So we make 15% off of preferred clients because they're getting that 20% discount. So 20 plus 15 is the 35. And then as a if you sign up a consultant or a wholesale buyer, you're not, as a starting consultant, you're not making any commission off of that, but it's more of a long run view versus a short-term view, because they're helping you build your business and get the volume, and they're sharing it with other people. And if they're actively building, they're building a team. And ultimately, those numbers go towards you promoting to district manager. So keep in mind that, yes, we can sell products and we can make a higher commission off of a client, but you got to think from a business perspective, the long-term plan. So as a district manager, you make you make everything that you made as a consultant, your 35% commission, plus you're making an 8% commission on everybody in your district. And that's called an override. So to get even more down into numbers, but hopefully this doesn't confuse you, we make a 65%, it's a 65% override. 65 plus 35 is 100. So you multiply your entire district by 65% and take 8% of that, and that's your commission. So you're making money off of what your team does as well as what you do. And that's where the time leveraging comes into play. So as your team gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you promote again, you make even more commission on top of that. But we won't get into that. I figured start as consultant and district manager because that's all of your goals except for Kimmy and Dottie, but that's a different training altogether. They know where they are. Does that make sense? Does that answer that? Okay. Clear as mud. So as far as the system is concerned, our system, you'll hear 222. And what that basically means is, as consultant, no matter whether you're a consultant or a national vice president, the business looks the same, your personal business. It's just a matter of teaching other people to do the same thing that you're doing. So I still follow the system for my business, and I'm just teaching all of you how to do it as well. So the 222 is something that's been around for years and years and years. It's proven to work. And so we learn from our uplines and what has worked for them. 222 is 2 group presentations a week, and it's 222 a week. 2 groups a week, 2 tester sets a week, and 2 opportunity meetings a week. And that's the goal. And so if you're doing that each week, if you're aiming for that goal, then you're typically meeting 40 new people a month. And so when you see the 40 faces goal sheet, that's exactly what that's centered on. And I will send that to everyone. But the 40 faces means you're getting in front of new people. Because what we don't want to happen is that in our first month or 2, we sign up a bunch of new preferred clients, and then all we're doing month after month after month is tapping into the same people, asking, do you want to order? Do you want to order? Do you want to order? That's where crazy people happen. And we're not going to go crazy. Right, boys? We talked about this. So just the idea is to invite other people, new people to look at the business, invite new people to try the products, and invite people to get you in front of other people that you may not know with skin and hair. And I remember at the beginning of my business, I felt like I was bothering other people, or I was like, it was uncomfortable when I was asking people to host, because I felt like I was asking them for a favor that they didn't really owe me. And I think that's a normal feeling for new consultants to feel if you've never been exposed to network marketing. But once you get it into your mind that this isn't about selling products to people and making a buck off of somebody, this is about sharing healthier products with people. And why shouldn't we make a commission from Arbonne for doing that? That's exactly how our commission is figured out. So we're literally sharing products with people that are better than what they're currently buying. Or like my big passion is the clean eating program. So I'm helping people get healthy. A lot of people are walking around miserable, and they don't know how good we're designed to feel. And this program teaches people how to do that. And as far as the presentations are concerned, a lot of times I think we start off thinking, again, I don't, are they gonna want to host this? I'm asking them to host people, but we need to keep it simple and light. Can you get a couple people together to test out these products, and in the meantime, you'll get hundreds of dollars of free gifts, free products as a thank you. And so it doesn't need to be this long drawn out thing. The presentation itself is 30 minutes long. So it's not some cumbersome 4-hour selling tactic. And there's a couple of you that haven't even seen what that looks like yet, Boyce and Lindsay. So you will soon enough. It's awesome. It's fun. The presentation's already created for us. It's on Dropbox if you haven't looked through it yet. It literally word for word. And you'll see Boyce tomorrow. I'll take my iPad, and I have it uploaded on my iPad, and I go through slide by slide. And, I add a couple little things, my testimonies, to make it a little bit more personal. But other than that, it's already created for us. As far as parties are considered, again, there's a checklist on that presentation, everything that you need for that presentation, from the products that you need to washcloths to order forms. Everything's on that document. So it's a really great checklist to follow so you don't forget anything or feel like you don't have what you need. Another tool is the envelope game. And if you go on Dropbox under presentations and the core presentation, there's a Word document there called envelope game. And Andy has trained on this, and it's something that I'm going to do with Boyce tomorrow night. And it's, how many of you have been to a network marketing party and they play like these really cheesy games and you're like, ugh, not another one. Well, this one's not like that. They get free products in return for getting a couple people together. If they choose that. They don't have to choose that, but they get 3 options. So look at that envelope game. It's been really, really effective. Another tool to use for your presentations is a blank calendar. And under the business development folder, under calendar, I went online and I just Googled blank calendar, and I print out the calendar like that. Boyce, this is what I was talking to you about earlier. So I literally go through and I make big circles, and I typically put 8 options on there, but it's going to vary depending on where you're at in that system. And that's another point to make. So not everyone can devote 2. That's the ideal goal. And eventually when you start building this business bigger and bigger, that will be your goal each and every month. But you have to be honest with yourself and honest with the pace that you want to put into this. And we are our worst critics. So you need to figure out what you want to do with this business and how far you want to go and how fast you want to go. And the closer you are following to that system, the faster it will be for you. So just know that. And don't get frustrated with yourself if you're not an area manager next month. I'm getting really dizzy looking down these stairs. If you're not an area manager next month, it's all about, if you're talking to that many people, then you will promote. You just follow the system and you'll get to where you want to go. Be honest with yourself. So the calendar, that's a good tool to use during the parties. So the other part of the 222 is the tester kits. And I have literally, if you go under samples and tester kits on a folder on Dropbox, I have a picture of what an RE9 tester kit looks like. And so we sell these gold bags, and you put the full-size products in there. And why this is so effective is because I've never heard of another company that does something like this, but you're literally giving over $300 worth of product to somebody, for somebody to use in their own home. I give it out for 5 days. So they're using it morning and night, and by the end of it, they don't want to give it back. Right, Dottie? Dottie started off as a wholesale buyer and is now building this business. She's a district manager. And I just literally buy one of these binder clips, and on this loop, I put my business card. And inside, I went and got these laminated and these are all in that same folder, but it's like a cheat sheet that tells you the benefit, the steps you're going through, and some instructions. Because you want to make sure, number one, that when you're handing this off, they know not to sit there and pump it 20 times. Because this is your product that you're using, that you bought yourself. And they should know a big benefit of Arbonne is the fact that it's concentrated. So a little bit goes a really long way. So they just need like literally a teardrop or a pea-size amount for everything. And another important thing to say about the tester kit is that when you drop it off, you schedule the pickup and the follow-up time to go pick it up from them. Don't leave it out in the air, because then you're leaving this $300 set with somebody and you have no way of knowing when you're going to go pick it up. It's just treat it like a doctor's appointment or your hair appointment. They're going to call and follow up with you. And so in that, after the first day that they have it, I always send a quick text usually and just say, hey, just wanted to check in, make sure everything is okay. Do you have any questions? Because the other thing that you don't want to happen is by the end of the 5 days when you go and pick it up, they haven't even used it, or they were having issues with one of the products and then they just stopped using it altogether just because they didn't know what to do. The follow-up appointment is key. Setting it. What else? I think that's it on those. And then on Arbonne, on the website, under business aids, they have these cute little cardboard bags that I put fit kits in. And there's another folder for that on Dropbox under RE9. And basically I'm putting a sample of more or less the clean eating package. So protein, the fiber, the fizz sticks, the tea. And same thing I treat with this. I schedule a follow-up appointment and I check in to make sure all is well. Because inevitably somebody will try to use, if they've never used protein before, a spoon to stir up the protein, and they're talking about how gritty and chunky it is. Okay. So actually what I've been doing with this fit kits is giving a shaker cup to let them use, or I just tell them to put it in a blender and blend it with fruit. So it's all about figuring out, number one, what they're interested in first before you even try to give them an RE9 set. Because if they don't care about skincare yet, maybe the RE9 line isn't something that they want to be using. They're overwhelmed by 7 steps. But then once they try a couple of the products, then they get a little bit more comfortable with it. So that's all I'm going to say about those. But write down your questions if you have any others. And then as far as the opportunity appointments, there is a folder called sponsoring, and that has a lot of different resources in there, and that can be a whole nother call. And I've done other calls just solely on this, and just the best way to approach people about the business. And basically the idea is that we want to let the tools do the work. We're not trying to convince anybody to do this business. This is not a convincing business. It's you know what, you're going to share what we have, and if it's for them, great. If they don't see it yet, maybe it's just a timing thing. A great tool are the calls, and I'm putting together just a list to reference, because what I do is I basically keep all the calls on the notes section in my iPhone. So if somebody is interested, I can just pull it up quickly and send it over to them. But again, I'm scheduling a follow-up call with them, because I'm not just blasting out the call, and number one, I don't know who's listening to it, and number two, I'm not following up to see if they have any questions, that kind of thing. Another resource is these opportunity packets, and Dina orders a bunch of them, but I know Kimmy has found these clear envelopes on Amazon, for instance. You can find them on Amazon, and it's just a professional way to present it. I include my business card. I include my on Arbonne story. So in all your Arbonne boxes, orders that you receive, you can just save these, and you never know who it might apply to. I also go through and I've printed a couple of my favorites just to have as a resource. Then there's also the compensation plan. And again, this is on a folder, in a folder, and it's called Opportunity Packets. I've tried to make it as straightforward as possible. These we order from Business Aids. And remember that when you're ordering these, they come in packs of 10, right, Dottie? Yeah. So don't order 10 thinking you're going to get 10 because you're going to get 100. So these are a great resource. It looks professional, and it gives all the information that somebody, well, a lot of information that somebody might want to know. This is the compensation plan sheet. So it just gives people an idea. Most people are not nobody wants another, okay, maybe not nobody. Most people don't want another hobby. We're all busy as it is. We've got full lives. But this really gives you an idea of what the income can look like, and it intrigues people to ask more questions. Let's see. I think that covers that. On the Getting Started action plan, the why, the formulate your why, when you watch the Simon Sinek video, that is one of the most important tools that you can use, especially, well, when you start your business, but throughout your business. And my why has changed so many times, like I shared at the beginning, throughout these 2.5 years. But it's being in touch with, if you've heard of Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why, he talks about in there that most people know what they do it, or what they do. Most know how they do it, but it's why you do it that people connect with the most. And so it really takes devoting some time to listen to that video and really think through it. Why are you doing this? Because if you're just saying, you know, because I want to sell products, that people are not going to connect with that. Most people are like, I don't sell things, I like to sell. That's one I hear all the time, fear and hesitation. I'm sure you guys have heard that too. So it's really connecting with why, because your why may connect really well with somebody else and get them intrigued with the business, or really feel a connection to you to do business with you and partner with you in that. So that is key. So what I'd like to do for you guys, if you go through that, and this is part of the Getting Started action plan, but if you haven't done it yet, you can go through that whole exercise and just bounce it off of me, whether it's through Voxer. If you don't have Voxer yet, that's been an awesome resource, Voxer, V-O-X-E-R. It's like a walkie-talkie on your phone, and it just allows you to talk through it versus having to schedule a call with me, for instance, because I have 3 kids who are under 6, and nap times and bedtimes, and it's just a way for us to communicate back and forth, and when I get a free second, then I'll listen to it and respond back. And so that's a great tool to use when you're going through your why, or if you have questions. We have Lindsay and Boyce and Elka, who vanished. We have a team Voxer group that when people have an idea they want to bounce off, or they had a great win, or they're having an issue with something and need help coming up with ideas, it's just a great resource to plug you into, so that you don't feel like you're out on an island. Because here, you know, Dottie's in Richmond, Kimmy and Genevieve are up in New York, Monette's up in New York, Boyce is in North Carolina, Lindsay is in Maryland, and we can all connect together that way. So that's been a great tool to use. So write out your why, and we can work on it together if you want. I'm here to help you with that. Let's see. We are going right along. The other big thing that's a really big passion of mine, I mean, if you've ever heard of StrengthsFinder, and it's StrengthsFinder 2.0. It's a book, and you get it's sort of like a personality type test, And you answer all these questions and it tells you what your strengths are, because the idea is we should all be focusing on our strengths and what we're really good at, not trying to improve our weaknesses to our strengths, because then we'll just be average. But if we focus on what we are inherently good at and we surround ourselves with people who have strengths in other areas, then we're better off. And that's what I love about our team, because there are some people a lot better at things than me, and vice versa. So StrengthsFinder, one of my things is learner. So I am constantly wanting to learn, and so I'm constantly reading. I never made time for it before my business, and now I've read 40 to 50 books in the last 2.5 years, and listened to hundreds of trainings, learn and burns. I just completely filled my brain with people who have succeeded and done well in this business, and it gives you the confidence to realize they're just like me and they've succeeded. So that's huge. There's 4 parts of belief. One is in the products, one is in the industry, one is in the company, and the other is in ourselves. And so if you look at those 4 parts and you figure out which one you need to work on the most, we have resources to help with one of those. And so if you need ideas for that, and maybe ideas, suggestions for books, let me know, because I've read a lot of them. But there are still others that I have a really, really long list of books that I feel like I need more time just to go and read, but that's not going to happen. So I do it when I can. So there's Learn and Burns, that Cecilia Stoll call. I think it might be on SoundCloud. SoundCloud is another resource to use, and there's a lot of Arbonne leaders on there that have recorded calls for training, and also opportunity calls to share with other people. One of my favorites right now is the Barbara Beatty and Donna Johnson call, and it's focused on nutrition. I think I gave that one to you, Dottie. I think I sent that one to you. But that's one of my favorites. So SoundCloud's a good resource. The books that you should absolutely put on your list to go through at the beginning, I'll give you a couple options, and then you can go through, read the covers, and see which ones intrigue you the most. But that's For Your Career by Richard Bliss Brooke. You should be able to find it with For Your Career. Another one is Go Pro by Eric Worre, Worre, and that one's in audio too. Both of those are in audio, so if you drive a lot, that's a great way to read. Flip Flop CEO is a really light and fluffy read, and actually the authors are from Arbonne, but they never mention Arbonne in the book. That's like a good beach read when you're chasing after kids or something. Another one, Dare to Dream and Work to Win by Tom Barrett. That's a great one to start off with. I'm giving you plenty of options. And the very first one that I ever read was The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. He's the Rich Dad, Poor Dad author. My dad made me read that when I was in high school. I hated it, but now I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. So Business of the 21st Century, and actually his wife, Kim, writes a chapter in there, and that's really what spoke to me the most. Because she talks about how, as women, a lot of women depend on the man's income, but then what happens if something happens and you're left supporting yourself? And that's one of the biggest peace of minds that I have, because I used to work full time, but I'm so far out. At this point, I can't say that I'm necessarily unemployable, but I would never want to work a 9-to-5 for somebody else ever again at this point, now that I've built this business and I know the freedom of business ownership. Women make 2/3 of what men make, and we live 5 to 6 years more longer. So that's another thing about this business too that's really gratifying, because we can help people defy those odds and build a business for themselves where they don't have to give up everything else that they're currently doing, all the responsibilities that they already have. Because most people in this business are devoting 10 to 15 hours a week, even at the highest level. 10 to 15, and that's following the system. Nobody's working 40 hours in this business. Nobody. Unless you're trying to get to like national vice president in 2 months, then maybe you probably are. But that's never a long sustained thing. So I can't talk highly enough about the personal development. A lot of people say that this is a personal development business disguised as a skincare company or as a product company. And I wholeheartedly believe that, because I have grown so much in the last 2.5 years. It's ridiculous. And that's simply by investing in myself. Plugging in. So we do a lot of challenges on our team, in our nation, in our region. So plug into those when you can. Even if you feel like you have no idea what you're doing, it helps you grow. Another thing, GTC, we have it every year. It'll be in April, or no. Yeah, it'll be in April. April 16 to 18 in Vegas. Who doesn't love Vegas? Right, boys? I met Boyce on the airplane to Vegas for GTC in April. So that's where that came from. And GTC is like something you have never experienced in your life. 18,000 consultants there, all trying to make a difference and grow themselves. It's just a really positive environment. You meet people who are going through the same thing you're going through. The thing about it is we're all living a life. We all have issues. We all are busy. It's just a matter of making it a priority. So GTC is amazing, but we have the Impact Tour that's coming up all over the country. There's the DC one and Albany one that I know our team is tapping into, and that's just a day. It's like a mini GTC, we call it, but you get to see the caliber of leadership that we have in this company, and that it's not just little me trying to build a business, but there are other people who are doing it, have been doing it for a while, and are really, really succeeding. And it's a great way to see how Arbonne does events. And that's a really good way to really understand what the culture of Arbonne is, because you can talk to me or you can talk to your sponsor, and you can hear from Dina Kretzer, who is our executive regional vice president at the moment, and she can cast a vision of what this company is all about. You go to a regional meeting. If you haven't tapped into a local meeting, we need to find you one, because that is huge in building your belief. And you can just connect with other people who are in the same area as you. The thing about this company is that no one is competing. We're all trying to be better ourselves and lift other people up. It's not like corporate America where there's only room for one person at the top. We can all succeed in this. So the culture is second to none. I have never experienced it, even in my working life, my short working life. I've never experienced a culture like this. So that's all I was going to cover on this training. But hopefully you have questions, and then you can just shoot them to me, and maybe we can do a follow-up call if you think that warrants that. I'll just see the type of responses that people are giving me, and we can go from there. So in closing, we don't get to region without working together, and we all need to win. But I'm here to help every single one of you that are willing to grow in this journey together. This business can be hard at times. It's building a business. We're entrepreneurs. We're building our own business. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It takes effort. It takes hearing a lot of no's. But if we quit because of someone's no, one person's no, think about the people that miss out on the very best opportunity we have ever been given. I am forever grateful for Dina, who offered this opportunity to me, and it's my mission to offer as many people as possible this life-changing opportunity. So we get to change lives. We are the most spread out team in our region and in our nation, I would say too. So many people fall back on the excuse that I don't know anyone. My first district manager, which is Liz Giordano in Maryland, and now an area manager, lives 3 hours away from me in Maryland. But because of Liz, she sponsored 2 more DMs, which are Emily and Kim. My mom is another DM in Maryland. Dottie is in Richmond. I only know 2 of these people before I started my business. My mom and Liz in college. That's it. And it's grown to this. So it's not about who you know, it's about who other people know too, and who you can help. So think of this as a serving opportunity, because it really is so much bigger than all of us. Thank you all for joining, and I will see you boys tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome.